and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Sammy of Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This one is going to talk about WrestleMania 40. That was just in Philly last weekend, and Bert was actually there all WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. I started out on Friday. Actually Thursday it started for me. I went to the Meanie Mania, which was the Blue Meanie had a little party at McCusker's, a bar near us, and it was cool. Braun Strowman showed up. Big dude, he was huge, man. Braun Strowman showed up. Jerry Lynn, I got a chance to talk to Jerry Lynn, who I've met many a times and talked to him before. And of course, me and Jerry talked about music, not wrestling.
Yeah. Well, it's always cool
guy.
when you talk to people like that and you talk about things. Whoa, did you hear that?
Yeah. Like their interest instead of what they do.
You talk about other things,
Yeah. So that was really cool. Little Guido was here. I didn't get a chance to really talk to him. And there was a couple other guys floating around. It was cool that Al Snow. Al Snow was there, and Al Snow actually married Meanie and Tracy that night. They both got married, which was a surprise to everybody because nobody really knew. So that was pretty cool. So Meanie actually got married at Meanie Mania.
I had no idea.
That was pretty wild.
That was your problem.
That was Thursday.
Hold on a second. We're getting a little WrestleMania going on over here.
Yeah, she's getting crazy.
Okay.
Stevie's getting crazy. So that was my Thursday. Friday, me and my buddy Chuck was at SmackDown for SmackDown in the Hall of Fame, which SmackDown was cool. The Hall of Fame was great. We didn't stay for the whole thing. The rest of it I caught on Peacock. But the Paul Heyman speach was unbelievable. Damn, did you hear that at all? Anybody hear that?
It was great, man. It was weren't they doing giving everybody time years ago? I mean, in the 2000s, they were just let people go like as long as they wanted. But then in recent years, they said, okay, well, you only have 10 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe because I don't remember the headliner going on first. If they did it last year, I don't remember. So they put Heyman on first, knowing that he's going to take the time, right?
You ain't showing him up.
Yeah. No.
Right. Well, I got a question for you because I was reading that a lot of people were leaving after his speech.
Yes.
It was empty, and they were trying to fill it up. They should have maybe. Was there anything going on before SmackDown or something? I mean, that's 8 to 10. I mean, you think that maybe they would have
put the Hall of Fame first?
Yeah.
You mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, people were leaving. I stood for Heyman. I stood for Bull Nakano, which was cool. Thunderbolt Patterson, I caught some of that. When Muhammad Ali's wife came out, I kind of was getting ready to leave like right around then because it was getting late. It was like it had to be close to 12 o'clock or 11:30 or something like that. So it was getting kind of late. So I kind of heard The Rock coming out, but we didn't go back in. I was like, you know what? I'll just watch the rest at home. I wanted to see Heyman live.
Who was last?
Probably The Rock came out. Probably inducted his grandmother. Okay. So that was the last thing. So Rock probably came out with Muhammad Ali's ex or wife, widow. And then he probably went into the last speech, which I didn't see the last speech. I didn't get a chance to watch that. But yeah, it was good. It was a long, crazy week. I didn't go to Raw on Monday, but I did go to WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. And before we get into our matches here, Saturday, man, I was like, we flip-flop seats. So I went with a bunch of my cousins, and what we did was one night, 2 of us were in one section, and then the other night we flip-flopped. With the other 3 that were in a different section. So the first night I was actually closer, but it was freezing fucking cold and we were off to the side. So I was a little miserable the first night. I was like, oh man, this is great, but I can't wait to get home. The second night was a lot better. It wasn't as cold.
Yeah.
And I was higher up a level, but I was more in the middle. So that was really cool. I enjoyed the second night a little bit more.
The second night you were on the second level?
Yeah, or what they call the boxes up there. It wasn't a suite. It was in like one of the boxes.
The out all weekend, I was debating whether I should go or not. The cheapest tickets I found were like $120.
That's not bad.
No,
but all the way in the second
they were
level,
they were in the parking lot.
Dude, it was behind. It was like they were like behind the stage. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. The stage, like those stages are 20 by 20 in the middle of 50
Yeah.
yard.
I mean, you have the screens and what you want to
line.
watch in the screens anyway. Now,
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing wrestling live. It's fun, but I rather really watch it at home with the commentating. The commentating makes
yeah.
it.
Like,
It
it
makes it so
does,
much
yeah.
better.
I'd rather go to like a next venue and watch it.
Yeah.
Something small.
It's
Yeah.
like intimate, you know.
Right.
It's big production, intimately done.
Yeah.
Like when me and you went to AEW, that wasn't too bad live. You were able to
Yeah.
see pretty good.
Yeah. First level, you sit right in the, in the middle of the first level. The ring is pretty close. I mean, I like that. Yeah, I couldn't see myself in a stadium. You get caught up into the hype, and I told myself I'm not getting caught up into the hype.
Yeah,
this time.
you got
I
caught up
always-
enough with the Kiss concerts.
Oh yeah, I learned my lesson.
So yeah,
I always get caught up in it.
listen, I watched before we go into these matches, I watched WrestleMania both nights that I was there, and I also rewatched the whole thing about 3 times because I knew we were going to review it and stuff like that. So I just so much more I caught when I watched it again at home.
Yeah, right.
It's more like going to that is more being in the event, just watching the spectacle of the craziness with people dressed up and all that craziness. But I more or less went because a lot of my family went and it was like a thing to do together.
It's like a Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah.
if you're a wrestling fan, it's by far the biggest event. I mean, nothing comes close.
I mean, the city had to do great. I mean, there was stuff going on.
I forget how much I heard they made. It was pretty good.
All weekend. There was stuff going on
people.
all weekend.
Yeah, I had plans. I mean, I wanted to do this, do that, but again, I got caught up in that hype. I didn't do anything. I wanted to go to some of the shows. I actually wanted to go to some of the indie shows at the but there was a shitload of them, dude. There was ones some catering place in South Philly was doing like some indie shows there that Takeshita was at. I was thinking, it'd be cool to go to that, but then there was things in Jersey over the bridge. So there's a lot of shit going on, a lot of stuff that we weren't even aware of.
I know. I was working, but I knew that Saturday morning at the arena there was a Japanese event, which would have been cool.
I wanted to go to that.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
So they were doing stuff during the day. Then, I know Meanie did an arena tour for 2 nights.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
And then he did a tour, I think, for the WWE for them on Sunday.
VIP members or something.
Yeah, there were so many good things going on.
Yeah.
So it was good. I mean, we'll give our things at the end. So what we're doing here, we're not going to go in as a group as an order. We're all going to give our own. There was 13 matches altogether for both nights. So we're going to give what our least to best was, our personal least to best. So
okay, you want to do it that way?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
I because I was going to ask you, are we going to rate them like we do songs, or are we going to put them in order, and then you come up with some average, some Burt math?
Yeah.
But that's all right.
I figure let's give our own personal thing here.
Yeah, the first night didn't really feel like a WrestleMania to me. I thought after I watched it. I mean, you being there, you probably felt it, but on TV, it just nothing special really happened. I felt like
the second night, it was all the build up to that second night. Yeah. So the 13th match. What was your least favorite match, Dame? We'll start with you.
Probably the Jay and Jimmy Uso match.
Wow.
I thought it was a little disappointing. I mean, none of these matches were like bad.
Right, exactly.
I just think I had like higher expectations for it, and I thought it fell a little flat to me.
Okay. How about you, Mike D?
Yeah, the same thing. I had Jay and Jimmy as probably the worst match. And not that it wasn't technically sound or anything like that, because those guys are great. But, it's weird because you always get hyped up for these brother versus brother matches. And it was just kind of like, after a brother versus brother match, you're like, they're just no good. Very rare occasions you see a good one.
Yeah, the Cody Dustin one was good.
I felt like, it could have been better. I think Jimmy should have won the match. I think Jay should have just beat the shit out of Jimmy the whole match. Jimmy pulls his little ploy, stop, dude, we're brothers, stop beating me up. A little fist to the nuggets, pins Jay, match over. You keep the feud going on a little bit. but it was just flat. They kind of did that in the middle of it, and it was like they needed like the rest of the match afterwards. It just had a, I don't know, bad flow to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also, all three of us said that was our least favorite. All three of us. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the match was kind of a Monday Night Raw match. It wasn't bad. It's just not much really going on. I mean, we'll get to it later on, but the best part about Jimmy and Jay was when, Jay fucking, what's the name? Speared Jimmy off the thing in the main event, which was cool. That was better than the match they had.
Yeah.
And I do agree with Mike. I think that Jay should have been beating him up the whole time, and then Jimmy going, "Oh, give me some forgiveness," and then Jimmy cheating to win or whatever, and then getting out of there. That'll keep it built up. But I will say the vignette for it was unbelievable. What a great vignette!
I would have even been happy if they just knocked the shit out of each other and both of them laying in the middle of the ring.
Right. But it was all building up. It was all building.
Yeah.
The vignette was great. They showed when they were little kids, and they had old footage. And
that was awesome.
The
vignette
was
great packages.
They do. They always do. They always do. But it wasn't a bad match. It's just not really happened. Okay. 12th place. What was your next one, Damo?
I had the Jade, Naomi, Belair trios match. I guess this was Jade's first match, I guess, right? She did Royal Rumble. She didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's like her second, maybe third, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
First big scale match.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay. I mean, I think the emphasis was on the three of them. Jade. That group, to really showcase them, because I'm sure they're going to they're going to shake that up for SummerSlam somehow. It's going to be Jade and somebody.
Belair probably,
in a match, and hopefully by then, I liked her in AEW. I thought she, I'm not going to say she was underutilized, but she's got a lot of potential. But she hasn't, supposedly she's been working out in the Performance Center, and so far I didn't really see anything spectacular. I mean, she only has, and then she was on Raw. That was like a squash match, but it seems like typical Jade. I didn't see any difference with her.
Okay,
any improvement really. But
Mike, 12th place for you.
12th place for me was, and it easily could have been Jade and Belair and Naomi versus Damage Control. But for me, it was Ripley and Becky Lynch, because for two of the biggest names in the women's division, I just felt sorry. The match was just very flat, and this was a match I kind of wanted to see. I thought you're going to get something pretty good, a couple big, spots in it, but it was just kind of flat. It felt like it had no emotion. Who was the heel? Who was the face? You couldn't really tell. Like, it felt like, especially Becky was just kind of like grunting her way through the match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a disappointment. It wasn't a terrible match. It was just very Monday Night Raw.
Yep. I also have that as my 12th match. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship match. I mean, not bad, but I was hoping it was going to be a little bit better. Especially, Rhea versus Charlotte was such a great match at WrestleMania that one year. Rhea's entrance was awesome. I thought the entrances were super cool. And the triple power bomb, that triple power bomb spot that she did was great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was glad Rhea kept the belt. She's so over. And she's it's a heel faction, but she's so over, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
And she's great, and Becky's great too. It's just it wasn't as good.
It was kind of flat.
Yeah. Yep. All right, coming in 11. What do you got, Damo?
The trios match with Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. That match, thought it was okay. I mean, to be honest, I can't even remember much from it. I just thought it was. Was that night one?
That was night 2, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, it was just okay. I couldn't remember too much. I don't remember thinking it was a stinker, but You know, I didn't go back and rewatch any of this stuff.
Right. Mike D.
Number 11 for me was Jade Belair and Naomi versus Damage Control. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match. It was very fluid, but very Monday night. Nothing more. There was nothing on the line for it. It was just kind of filler.
I agreed with Damon for the 11th spot. I had the AOP and Karrion Kross versus the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I mean, Street Profits got their win there. It was cool to see Bubba Ray guest referee. The match was pretty good.
He wasn't.
Yeah, Bubba Ray was the guest referee.
Man, that was the ladder match, 6-pack ladder match, right?
No,
That's right.
Street Profits match. Yeah, he was the guest referee in the Street Profits match. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
I remember because Karrion Kross went after him and Bubba puts the glasses on.
Yeah. It was a Philly street fight match. Lots of kendo sticks all over it. Montez Ford.
That's right.
That's
okay.
right, yeah. Montez Ford did some cool spots.
I fucked that up then.
It's okay. We all fuck up.
I fucked that up. See, if you would have put Philly street fight and Bubba Ray.
Yeah, it was the Philly street fight.
Yeah.
That's it. Plain Bert.
Yeah, that's it. It's all right. Everybody
It's your fault, dude.
Yeah.
Right,
so
when you're done, I want to do a redo of my explanation. We'll keep it at 11 where it is for me, but
you give an explanation. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah. So a lot of kendo sticks. Montez Ford has some crazy spots like that flip outside the ring. B-Fab giving the pump kick to Scarlett, who looks great with the dark hair, by the way. Bobby and Karrion Kross going at it. But the cool spot for me the whole match, of course, was the Dudley "What's Up" when they did that whole spot, and then they did the get the table spot, which the crowd went berserk with. Yeah, it was a good match. It comes in 11, but it was a good match, definitely.
Okay,
Damo, explain.
I can't believe I totally forgot about that. Yeah. I would have put this maybe a couple places higher. I actually thought it was a fun match. I didn't think it was a great match. I thought it was fun.
Right. Yeah, me too.
You know, especially with Bully Ray there and all that. But
it was a crowd please match, you know?
Yeah.
What do you got for number 10, Ding?
Number 10, I have AJ Styles LA Knight match. I actually thought this was going to be a lot better. It was good. It was a good match. It didn't really blow me away. And I was expecting to be blown away with those two. I had predictions of that being like a top 5.
Yeah. Yep. Which I think for me definitely hit that. What do you got, Mike?
And I have the AOP and Karrion Kross versus Street Profits and Lashley. I'm not saying it was a bad match just because I'm saying it's number 10 for me. It was definitely a fun match. And I think what made it even higher for me, I think, was when they first did the table spot, the table just collapsed and they had to do it all over again. and in between there, Karrion Kross got a little extra beaten than he should have. So that added to it a little bit. So it was a little on the spontané, you know?
Yeah. 10 for me was Dom Mysterio and Escobar versus Rey Mysterio and Andrade. The standout to me was Joaquin Wilde when he does that crazy leap. That was like Air Jordan shit. I mean, that was pretty cool. Awesome. It was a good match, you know, but the highlight of that match, of course, was when Kelsey and Lane Johnson took off their mask and it was them. We knew they were doing something. I didn't know it was going to be Johnson, but the place went berserk. I mean, the match was a good match, but that made it memorable, right? So at least for us. So yeah, that came in at 10 for me. Coming at number 9, what do you got there, Damo?
I got the Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens match. Thought that was a pretty good match. I can't stand Logan Paul. I fucking hate
he's doing his job. He's doing his job, Damo.
Yeah. I knew the dude in the costume at the end. What's the name of his drink? Prime. I knew that guy was going to interfere somehow. But it was predictable, but in a good way because you would expect that.
Yeah.
It would have been a waste if they didn't. Yeah, but I thought it was a pretty decent match.
Mike D, what do you got for 9?
9, I had Dom Mysterio and the Escobar family and Ray versus Ray. You know, good solid match. I think what put it higher for me was definitely the Philadelphia Eagle guys coming out there.
Sure.
Because It wasn't a great match, but
It was
Well,
good.
being from
It was memorable.
Philadelphia, yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely memorable.
It was memorable. For me, 9 was the Jade Belair, Naomi versus Damage Control. I think Jade is making some improvements. I noticed a little bit of stuff. I think she's definitely making some improvements. You can tell the difference already. I thought it was a real good match. The wow moment for me was when Bianca whipped Asuka with her hair, and it was loud, man. It was just like boom. And you're like, oh, that was the wow moment for me for that match. But I think it's a smart thing that they have Jade with Bianca and Naomi because you could protect her still as she's still getting her craft done. And if all goes well, it has to, if not next WrestleMania or by SummerSlam, once that thing starts crumbling down a little bit, it's going to be Jade and Bianca. It's going to be Jade. I mean, they're both.
Oh, it's a great faction.
A great faction. They're both physically fit, man.
Yeah, they look great. I mean,
and Belair is one of my favorites. I think she's amazing. Jade Cargill, I think in the WWE and then out of the WWE, she's going to be a huge, huge star. I think somewhere down the line, AEW somehow dropped the ball or whatever happened. They kind of used her like a Goldberg, which wasn't bad to get her feet wet, but I don't know how ready she was.
She wasn't getting over. I mean, her promos weren't polished.
Right. And that's what they'll do. I think she probably went through some next training, a performance training, even though she wasn't really on TV for next. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to train her in that way. And she's going to be a superstar, man. She could be like a female Rock coming out, I think she's going to do movies and all. She's a specimen, if that's the word, right?
Yeah, I mean, she looks great.
She looks great, man. Okay, your number 9 match there, Demo.
I got Dom Mysterio, Escobar, Rey Mysterio, Andrade match.
Are you right there, Bert? Or
am I what?
Are we on 9 already?
8.
We're on 8.
Oh, you said 9. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, we're on number 8. What do you got there, Demo, for number 8?
Dom Mysterio, Escobar versus Rey and Andrade. Yeah, I thought that was a fun match. I actually really like. I've always liked Rey Mysterio, and I'm a fan of Andrade. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the match, you had Lane Johnson and Kelsey. That was fun. You know, yeah, it was cool because they had like Eagles Rey Mysterio mask on.
Great. I wish I could get one of those masks. That mask was great.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
What's that, Mike?
I want to hear Andrade talk more. I want to hear more promos from Andrade because they are gold.
Oh, he's got the best accent. So smooth.
It's so smooth. Yeah, he's a lover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then did you see Rey Mysterio's outfit was unbelievable? He had all the eagle stuff, like kind of stuff on it, and the whole time, a lot of them were wearing that Eagles green. It was kind of cool to see all that. I don't remember them doing that before with anything. It was really pretty.
Yeah, well,
memorable.
look at the WrestleMania logo was
everything's in that Eagles.
Everything's green.
Yeah,
so
it was pretty cool. Mike D, what do you have for 8?
I have for 8 Bayley and Io Sky. I just think they both put on great matches all the time, and I think Bayley deserves the title. Yeah. I think she kind of got left out early on.
Yeah. I have for number 8 Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens U.S. title match. It was a solid match. I mean, say what you want about Logan Paul, but man, he's good at this. He's pretty damn good at it. He's got the look. He's got the height. He's got he's probably going to fill out even more. He impresses me every week. Yeah, and he's great on the mic. He plays the asshole part perfect. He's a better Miz. He's going to be a better Miz, probably, Some real cool spots between Randy and Owens because, they were friendly, but they were still going at it, which is great. I love when the guy in the Prime bottle got kicked by Orton and he went flying. That was like my favorite part.
Yeah.
I think that was payback because that dude, I looked like he kind of shoved Orton and Orton really wasn't ready for it. And he pushed him back like a foot or two. And then Orton came back with that kick and you could see the look on the dude's face. It was like, oh.
He flew. The kick was great. And you're in that outfit, you can't really move, right? The kick was great.
Dude, did you ever do those sumo suits, by the way?
No, I never have. Have you?
Oh my God, it's horrible. I couldn't.
I
was fighting one of my buddies, and he was a little smaller than me. He kept getting underneath me, and I was like, boom, on the ground. You can't even get up in them things.
Can't move. Yeah,
you can't move in those things. It's ridiculous. the spot where Owens delivers that power slam off the top and then the moonsault, that was great. And Logan Paul has a great frog splash. That was insane. He was high. I mean, the only guy that
He's
has
a natural.
close. He's
Definitely
a
a
natural.
natural.
I
And
mean,
I'm not a fan,
Montez
but
has a good one too. I mean, they get air.
I'll tell you that quite a few guys use that frog splash that night, man.
Oh yeah,
that's a big move now.
That's a big move.
Yeah, but it's for it was Eddie Guerrero's his finisher now, like everybody uses it.
Everybody uses
it. It's like the DDT now, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, the worst move that I think that they ruined more than anything is the inverted pile driver, which they call Code Red or whatever they're calling now. They had 9 names for it. That move, the first time I seen that move, it was the greatest move I ever seen because it was so quick. Petey Williams did it. It was like out of nowhere.
That
now
was
everybody.
What was it called back? What were they calling it? I can't remember.
The Canadian
Destroyer.
Canadian Destroyer, was it?
Yes. Yeah. That move, the first you see Petey Williams do it for the first time, you're like, I don't know which is happening. That don't look real. And now everybody kind of does it. Who does it slow and who doesn't? It's just it's too common of a move now. It's not special anymore.
Well, yeah, that's with a lot of guys' finishers, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. That sharpshooter and all that stuff. Now they're like special for certain guys, and when you have other guys using it, it's kind of like, okay, well, that was so and so's finisher, and now you
come up with something different, man. Like
yeah.
Kevin Owens is good. Kevin Owens has so many good moves. Why is he using the stunner as a finisher? I mean,
I don't understand that.
That shouldn't be used. I think only one guy should be use the stunner. All right, so going to match number 7 for you, Damo. What you got?
I got the 6-pack ladder match. Thought that was a pretty fun match. I mean, I really like the Awesome Truth, man. That's fucking funny.
He's the best. R-Truth's the best.
Both of them crack me up, man. They're just like they're so good together. And R-Truth, I don't know what's that whole angle like amnesia or something.
He's in his own world. He's in his own world.
It's so off the wall, like goofy, man. Like, I like seeing that shit once in a while in wrestling.
Sure,
that's what you got
to mix that
comedy in there.
Mike D, what do you got for 7?
For number 7, I had the 6-pack ladder match.
Okay.
I honestly thought that should have been the show opener, probably on the first night, get things going a little bit. That might have set a pace for it, but it was a fun match. I really felt bad for Finn Balor, who I think got knocked around pretty good in that match.
Yeah.
I think he took about at least 3 to 4 ladder shots in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that ladder was getting beat up pretty good. For me, 7 was the Bayley Io Sky Women's Championship match. Really good match. Even better second time I watched it. The Hey Bayley chants from Next were back, which I thought was great.
Cool.
That was great, man. I was pretty amused by it. Both women are really good. Bayley's great, man. I thought it was a real good match, and I'd like to see them two have more matches against each other. The last good competition or one that meshed well with Bayley was Sasha Banks. Them two were like a great pairing. Everybody's got their one person they pair with that's just better than anybody else they
chemistry.
Pair with. Yeah. Chemistry. Yeah, their chemistry was there. So maybe her and Io is going to have some chemistry because Io is really good too. But yeah, it was cool to see Bayley win it. And yeah, I think hopefully you're going to have more matches. What do you got number 6, Damo?
I got the one you just talked about, Bayley, Io Sky. I like both a lot. I thought it was a pretty solid match.
Did you notice, Damo? I'm using the in-ears. I'm trying to get used to them.
Oh, you got them.
I got them. We got the whole set now. I bought these separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. But I guess you could use them for whatever you want now, too. So
yeah,
it did come with a second pack here. BSN. I bought the pros. And it came with a second wire that you could actually use
for mic.
For mic. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, mine did too. Yeah.
Anyway, enough of me, and let's move on to Mike D. What was your 6?
6, I had the Logan Paul and Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Look, I think I said it before, but Logan Paul's a natural. I'm not a fan. I don't want to be a fan.
Yeah.
But you can't deny. You can't deny how good he is.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I agree. For me, 6 was the 6-pack ladder match. New Catch Republic, which is done, and who's Big Strong Boy? What's his name again? Big Strong Boy. Tyler
Oh, why do I
Bates.
always Tyler Bates?
Tyler
Yes.
Bates. New Day, Judgment Day, DIY, and 8-Town Down Under, and the Awesome Truth. So it's funny here because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go take a leak. I'm gonna go run to the bathroom. So by the time I got back, they already 8-Town already won the first set of belts. I'm like, that was quick. I thought it was totally over because I thought you got both of them, but
That's
so
what I thought too.
yeah, I was confused. So that was pretty cool. I'm glad they split them up. There was a lot going on in this match. It was good, but there was a lot going on. The highlights were the double moonsault with Bates and Dunn. That was totally wild. Like I said, I was surprised how quick the 8-Town Down Under got the belt first. I was extremely happy to see R-Truth grab the other set. I'm a huge Truth fan. I think Truth deserves. I don't know if I'll ever get it now, but
Dude,
I think he deserves to have the big belt at least for a month or something.
do you remember how good he was when he went to TNA? His mic
great.
skills were like, well, how did WWE let this guy go? He's so good.
Great. He went to TNA.
He was a champion for a bit.
He was a heel, and he was great, dude. Like as far as on the mic, he was quick. I mean, he's quick with it anyway, but he was so good. But he's fun. He's in ridiculous shape.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean,
He's not. He's got to be about what 50.
He's got to be.
I think they said he's 51.
Yeah, and he don't look it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, R-Truth still really good, but you know,
The only downside, I like R-Truth and I'll watch his matches if he, but the Miz, I got to walk out of the room half the time.
Mike don't like the Miz. I like the Miz.
I'm not a fan, but I like the two of them together.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I don't like the Miz's outfit's a little bad, but besides that, I think the Miz he's a workhorse for the simple fact is he barely gets hurt. He's always a constant. They always seem to. I think Miz is like the X-Pac, where they'll put him in with Miz and see how he does. That's what I think it's kind of like, see how he does with Miz because they all go through Miz at one point. Okay, so moving on to your 5th match of the night, Damo.
This one is the main event of night 1. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns in the Rock match. A lot of hype going into it. Rock's first match, right? In like over 10 years, I think.
8 years, something like,
right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
whatever it was. Yeah, I thought it was a good match. Definitely one of the better ones of it's kind of disappointing night 1, I thought. Why you don't agree with?
No, I don't think they wanted to give it all away.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think they wanted to give it all away. I think it was a build up for the night too. They couldn't.
Yeah,
You can't do too much. You got to
Right.
drag it out a little bit, and it was a build up. But I'll get into that when I go into my turn here.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Number 5, we're at, right?
5.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had AJ and LA Knight at this one, and I was actually surprised because I thought this was going to be pretty much a throwaway match. But both of these guys brought it, man. And when you think LA Knight's not, just kind of like a basic Rock or Cena wrestler, he can bring it, and he does, and he's got attitude out there. I think he's actually a pretty good champion right now.
I like him, yeah.
AJ Styles versus LA Knight was my 5th also. It was just a good straight up match. AJ always puts on a good show, a good match. He just always does. No matter who he's fighting, AJ's great. AJ, lost to LA Knight. LA Knight I think's pretty good. He's okay to me. But I would have preferred AJ to really win. But yeah, so it was a good straight up match. Moving on to number 4. What do you got, Damo?
Number 4 was the Gunther Sami Zayn match. I love Gunther because he's like a real pro wrestler.
Look at the throwback.
He's like the real deal. He's a throwback, yeah. But I knew that he wasn't going to win.
Right.
I just had a hunch because he's by far the I don't know if anyone will beat his record, the Intercontinental title. And I read an interview with him like a month ago, and he said something like he wants to go for, one of the
Major
heavyweight.
title,
they won the major titles now, so it kind of made sense, that he wasn't going to keep it much longer. So I wasn't surprised by it, but I thought the best match on last year's WrestleMania was the trios match with him.
Mhm.
That was it him? Was Drew McIntyre in that one? Maybe I can't remember,
I
but
don't really remember.
from WrestleMania 39, I thought that was like by far like the best match. And
I won't remember most of this next year.
yeah, probably won't either. Yeah, but I really like that one.
Mike D, 4, what do you have?
Or I had Gunther and Sami Zayn. And I didn't go into this one with too much anticipation because I think I'd rather would have seen what's his name, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I thought it was more of the storyline, but
Mm.
I never go into Sami Zayn's matches expecting too much, and then when you watch Sami Zayn's matches, you forget how good the dude actually is.
Yes.
And he can bring it. And wow, what a good match.
Yep. My 4 was also Gunther Sami Zayn for the IC title. Great match, great story. Man, Gunther hits hard. Gunther hits hard. He just wallops you. I also love, when the Kaiser comes out and announces one thing that I don't even know how they say it, the way they say Gunther in the ring general. Ring dun dun ba whatever ring they say is fucking pop every
What's
time.
it like?
Yeah, there's all kinds of extra shit in there. I love that faction. I'm a fan of all factions usually, but I love that faction. Great story. Sammy hitting that brainbuster off the top rope before he got that win. Oh my God.
Oh,
like, I actually thought it was a mistake. It looked crazy to me. I was like, what just happened? That
was the finish, though. That was a great finish.
Yeah, and the same thing like what Mike said. You forget how good Sami Zayn is. You're always like, Sami Zayn's in a match will be decent, but you forget how good he is. I mean, he is like the ultimate underdog. He really is.
Well, they look like they scooped him out of the back of the Wawa. It's can have some change, man. He does. He looks kind of homeless.
But he's the ultimate underdog, really. It was definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. I mean, I knew I was going to like Gunther because I like him anyway. Because like Dame said, he's a throwback. It's cool to see somebody like that. He's got like a Killer Kowalski kind of look going on, It was one of my favorite matches, surprisingly, to be honest with you. But you forget, like Mike said, how good Sami Zayn really is.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope it's a big build up with Zayn and now Gable, and Gable will have a chance to run with the ball with the ice.
Dude, I'm a Gable fan. It's a shame he didn't have a WrestleMania match.
He could be another angle. He could be another angle, man.
He reminds me of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Coming in at number 3, what you got, Damo?
Opening match of night 1. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch.
Wow, nice.
I really like Rhea Ripley's entrance.
It was great.
I like her, man. She's
fucking phenomenal.
She's fucking badass. I mean, she looks great. She looks like she'll like fuck somebody up big time. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she could wrestle. I thought it was a really good match. Made number. It was one of my top 3 favorite matches.
Yeah. Yep. Mike Ding.
Number 3, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Great match. And I think what made it even better was the ending of it. After McIntyre pinned Seth Rollins, was the cockiness of him going over to CM Punk and kind of shaking that title in his face. And he got what he deserved. He got beat up by CM Punk, and then he lost his title as quick as he got it.
I was fucked up.
It is, great. But you know what? Hey, at least you didn't have to wait for karma too long. That was like instant karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, my number 3 was Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock. Roman and The Rock win the match, of course. It was all about the story here. The long buildup. I mean, it was a long. Between the entrances, it was long.
Oh God Almighty, dude!
It was long. But not that many people could pull that off like The Rock. You've seen even on Monday night, the day after, Rock could just stand there and do nothing.
I know.
That was fun, by the way.
I mean, it's just that's when you got them by the palm, in the palm of your hand.
Oh yeah,
that you don't have to do nothing, and they proved that. They spent half that match doing nothing. And we were all,
Right.
what's happening? You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. That's the
It
storytelling.
was still like a 40-minute match or whatever.
It was
I
a
was kind
long
of
match.
surprised.
Yep. But the spot where Rock gets speared by Roman, I thought because in a couple weeks ago I would have been like, oh yeah, Rock's going to turn on Roman and Cody's going to get the belt that
That's
way.
what everybody thought.
And then a week or two before that, they started that whole Cody Rock thing. You're like, okay, maybe that's not going to happen. It's getting too vicious now, right? So when Rock got speared by mistake, I was like, uh-oh, something's going to happen. And it didn't, right? But I thought something was going to happen there. And then I thought the beauty of it was Rock pinning Cody. It's a perfect build-up for the future now. The whole thing, and this is what I think AEW misses a lot, is that they're all about, well, they're back to where they were with telling the big story. It's a long story. It's not month to month and month to month. And that's what happened with wrestling, even with WWE. Everything was just month to month, month to month. You didn't milk nothing where it was like a big event. AEW will throw in, oh, it's a cage match between so-and-so. And you're like, there wasn't even a story. They're in a cage match. Like,
right.
That's the only, the booking's a little bit weird. The matches are good. The booking's a little weird. But anyway, Rock pins him. Perfect build up for the future. And now we have a Bloodline Rules match, which anything kind of goes. Okay, so what do you got at number 2 there, Damo?
2, I have main event night 2, Cody Rhodes versus Roman. Thought it was a really good match at the end. Though I liked the ending. It was sort of like out of a fucking like Avengers movie or something. It kind of, I don't know, man. Let the guy win clean.
You think it kind of cheapened it a little bit?
I mean, I don't want to say because it was fun seeing all those guys pop out, but at the same time, just like let them go, let the guy get his moment with no help. But you still knew somebody was going to come out, like somebody from the bloodline was going to fuck it up or something. But it was a fun match, man. Seeing all those guys pop out and fucking Undertaker pops out and then choke slams a Rock and then the lights go out and then those two are gone. It really was like, I felt like I was watching some Marvel Universe movie. It was crazy. Who's going to come out next? All these guys come out like a poof of smoke, but it was, I'm sure you being there was electric. I mean, you could feel it.
That was crazy. Yeah.
He was sleeping at this point. Come on.
Wrestling makes me sleepy. Yeah.
You could probably see the guy in the crowd.
You can hear my snoring. Mike D, what do you got for 2?
2, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock. I mean, it was hard not to put this one high, and I guess what my number 1 is after saying this one, but I mean, the storyline for the past 2 years was this, and you finally feel it coming to an end, and it's the anticipation, and it delivers, and it was big, and it made you want to watch it, and so what? It was the end of night 1. You're just you want to see this. You're not falling asleep. I'm sorry, even if you're Albert.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm making a last minute adjustment here, and I'm flip flopping my 1 and 2. Yeah, because it was close anyway. I'm flip flopping my 1 and 2. 2, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Universal title. Cody wins. It's the perfect conclusion to this chapter of the story, right? It was a 2-year build, with Cody getting hurt and all that stuff. Cody, who you thought might have won it last year, didn't win it. I think it might be the first time it was the same main event in 2 years, maybe. Back to back. It might have been.
Yeah, I think so.
So I thought it was well worth the wait. I mean, the long storytelling, that bloodline storyline, was long. The Cody storyline was long. The payoff was good. It was a solid match, back and forth, but the ultimate was, the run-ins and the counter run-ins. Jimmy comes in, then Jay comes in, Solo comes in, then Cena comes in. The Rock comes in. You get that weird swerve where you see the Shield thing, and I'm going, oh my God, Dean Ambrose is going to come out. Here comes Moxley.
That's what I thought.
They caught me. That had to be a little thing just to throw everybody up, because I was like, oh shit. If Moxley
Especially
came
you
out,
didn't see Moxley in a while. So
no.
Yeah,
they would have shit if Mox came out. They would have shit.
Yeah.
The Undertaker comes out at the end, which is cool. The only thing my prediction would have made a little sweeter was if you heard that glass break, the place would have went berserk.
Yeah, I heard they couldn't come to an agreement or something.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. But it was great. Like you said, it was like a superhero kind of ending. Um, you know, but listen, the story's great. Cody, you know, is in the WWE, does okay. He gets a little stagnant. They come up with goofy gimmicks for him. He's had enough. He takes his ball and goes to Japan, reinvents some stuff a little bit there, gets in with the AEW, VPs and all that. He's a big part of AEW, put on some great matches in AEW. I mean, put on matches that he didn't even have to put on. He made guys look really good. Even if he won, he made them look good. Never got the big AEW title. And then took a chance and came back to WWE, and he's bigger than ever. Like, he reinvented himself. He really took the long route around to really, like Drew McIntyre, same thing. Drew McIntyre totally reinvented himself. So this was a great match. I thought it was perfect for the story. For once, everybody kind of got what they wanted instead of, getting the old, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It was a feel-good moment. The place went nuts with all them cameos coming in. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Okay, coming in at number 1, Damo, what you got?
Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. By far, that was my favorite match. It was like, well, that was the opening match tonight too, I think, right?
Yes. Yep.
Great opening match. McIntyre comes out first. I loved his ring entrance. I thought that was fucking badass.
Yeah.
And then Seth Rollins comes out, and that one like slightly topped it, I thought, with the mummers and everything. But
yeah, I mean, come on, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan. He's probably my favorite WWE guy.
He's great.
He's such a badass man. It was a great match. Fucking wins.
I only like Drew when he's heel, though. I don't like him as a face.
I like him as heel.
Yeah. How he is, man. I think he's great. He's such a prick. Believable.
Listen, the best line, not to cut you off, but the best line he said a couple weeks ago to CM Punk, which was hilarious. He said, for a guy that don't drink or smoke or do anything, he's like, you spend an awful lot of time in rehab. That's the greatest fucking line. That was a great line. And CM Punk, of course, got him back pretty good too, but that was a great line. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
It was good.
I thought it was great, man. What a swerve at the end. He's got the title, and then fucking the Money in the Bank, man. I like Damian Priest comes down after CM Punk knocks him out, and oh man, it was great.
I thought Seth Rollins was going to win, really, and he was going to just scrape out the win. He was going to be laid out on the mat himself where he couldn't do anything, and then Priest comes down and just takes it. But the way they did it just was so much better.
Well, Mike, this was your number 1 and evidently my number 1 also. Anything else you want to elaborate on this match, Mike?
I think you're right. What match? This isn't my number 1.
No, that's
this wasn't your number 1.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I thought, yeah. Okay.
Well, you changed it. That's why I was kind of
changed mine.
You changed yours to the main event overall.
Yeah.
My number 2 was Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
What was your number 1 then?
My number 1 was Cody and Roman.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yep.
So that's my number 1, and I mean, I couldn't see it being anything else but that, because that was the whole, for me at least, that's kind of the whole reason to stick through and watch the whole WrestleMania. It was just to see this story be kind of finished over here.
Mm-hmm.
And they delivered.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, it could have went either way for me. I flip-flopped the last second here. I'm going to go with the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre for a couple of reasons. Because Damian said so. So I'm going to go with it because the swerve. So first off, the McIntyre entrance is super cool. The entrance with the whole mummers thing with Seth Rollins, it was so Philly, and they utilized Philly really well at this event. I mean, they really did.
Oh yeah,
they really, really did. That entrance, and when he came out, it was great. And then everybody going around the table, and the commentators were fucking awesome. They with them saying what they were saying, it was great. CM Punk going, I don't slap nobody's hand. I'm hurt right now. But and then they were calling them all different goofy names. It was so memorable that I think if they have like a top 10 WrestleMania entrance within the years, that's going to be up there. That's going to be high up there. That was a fantastic entrance. Um, you know, I mean, it was just perfect for Seth's gimmick, right? I mean, Seth's not even real. His real deal is not even that, but he's so over the top with this gimmick,
Yeah,
that it's perfect.
it fits. It totally
Oh,
fits.
It
absolutely.
totally fits. It was an awesome match. I really thought Drew was going to get the quick pin in the beginning. I really did. I was like, oh shit, Drew's going to get the quick pin, like, because that could happen, right? It was just really a great match to watch as a fan. Drew gets the win, celebrates, and at first, like Mike said, I thought Seth was going to win it, and my prediction was Seth's going to win it, and what's name's going to cash it, Priest is going to cash in. But when Drew won it, and it was kind of played out where he went to his wife and all that, I was like, okay, I guess Drew's going to keep this belt. Drew finally got the belt.
About it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Drew's keeping this belt. I mean, they had me fooled. And then he went to go taunt CM Punk a little bit. I still was thinking, Drew's going to keep the belt. And then when Punk sweeps his leg or whatever, takes off the brace, hits him with the brace. When Damien's Priest music hit, I jumped out of my seat. It was the only time I jumped out of my seat on. I was, because I talked to Meanie when he was doing some training with him, because he was doing some stuff at the Monster Factory also. And he told me about, the Punisher Martinez, I think it was, back when, in the Indies.
That was his name?
Yeah.
Punishment Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So he was telling me, he's like, yo, this guy's got like Undertaker size. He's got a great look. This kid's going to be great. He was a little older, he said, but he said he's going to be great. And when he came in, me and Mike D talked before, I was like, this guy's going to be champ. I just don't know when. And finally, Senor Money in the Bank gets his due. I love that swerve.
Oh,
I really do. I was like, it was just so good. It was so good. When they lost the belts, I was like, okay, he's got to be cashing in. I didn't think he was going to cash in on the Cody match. I mean, they're really screwing Cody bad. That was really bad, But yeah, that was my favorite match. And it was close with the whole Rock and Cody thing and Roman Reigns, and it was just a great build up. Overall, I thought it was definitely one of the best WrestleManias I've seen. Is it the best? I don't really remember. There's so many good ones. This one was great. It was memorable, of course, because it was home for us. But I thought it was great. Dame, your thought on it?
Yeah, I like the one night WrestleManias. Stretching out the 2 nights. I don't know. It's a little bit.
It's a lot.
Too much, I think. Yeah, it's a lot. But then again, I mean, you watch some of these AEW pay-per-views, 7 o'clock, and they're over at midnight. It's fucking long.
It's too long to sit there. Even this is long,
And the old WWE pay-per-views were that long at one time.
Yeah.
I remember from like 8 to midnight or
it's
whatever.
hard to keep people's interest,
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was if I really think, I'm sure there's had to have been some older ones that were better.
Yeah, it's just in the moment. I think because it was Philly, it's more memorable.
I'm going to say probably in the last 10 years, it was one.
In the last 10 years,
yeah,
it's probably the best one. It was definitely memorable. There was a lot of cool stuff. How about you, Mike? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought as a whole, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, because you know what, it seems like they knocked out a lot of the goofy shit. Like those stupid grab ass Benny Hill matches. Like the hardcore title and all that goofy shit. It was a little more on the serious side, like it had a better feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think commentating wise, Pat McAfee is awesome. I love McAfee.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that because we forgot to zone in on how good Pat McAfee is.
So much fun.
And he kind of comes off awkward too,
unpredictable.
But that's the whole charm of it. I mean, you just never know what the dude's going to say.
Well, it reminds you of the old stuff with Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon.
Right.
You need one of those guys. You can't have two stiffs doing it, right? You got to have one guy that's kind of calling the play-by-play, and then one guy that's kind of breaking balls.
Yeah,
it worked with King and Jerry Lawler. I think it works now with McAfee and Michael Cole. Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse, you got to have something because otherwise, for a while, they had two, and even if they were good announcers, they had two guys just announcing the match. And it was just like, all right, I'm falling, it's like, and then you're talking about
the
WWE
5th, video game.
Yeah. They're talking about
the
stuff
WWE video game has better announcing than the main show. You got problems there.
Yeah. So I think they made a turn around that corner, and Triple H really pushing the new era kind of thing. So I think would it go into Netflix? I think it's going to be a little wilder. I think we're going to see some more racier looking stuff, a little wilder. At least that's where it looks like it's going. They're showing blood now, where before they weren't.
Yeah,
showing
I
blood.
don't. I mean, it's they have shareholders now. Well, they've had them for
Yeah,
years.
The Rock.
But yeah, but you wonder even if it's on Netflix, they have sponsors and shit like that. How far can they really?
Yeah. Well, look at it's another thing. Lady said sponsors with TKO taking over and all that stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Now you see like dude wipes. You're starting to see a lot more sponsor stuff pop up now. If you noticed. So I think it's going to be geared more towards. I mean, listen, man. We all grew up on wrestling, as kids, and a lot of kids do go to the wrestling events. But if you look around, man, there's a lot of adults. There might be more adults than kids at this point.
Are we going to see that commercial now? Hey, Dad, do you ever feel not so fresh? Well, yes, son. I use dude wipes.
Wipes.
This is brought to you by Dude Wipes. Yeah, good stuff. But all in all, I thought it was a long, fun week for me. Yeah. Monday night I was kind of tired. I was just happy just to watch it on TV.
I bet. Yeah.
By that time. But so yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what comes up going into the next couple months, next couple pay-per-views, going into SummerSlam, and who takes that belt off Cody? Does Cody hold it long? I don't know. Do you think anybody else from AEW is going to jump ship? What do you think, Dame? I don't know who's not under contract.
I heard Ricky Starks is in the back.
He was there. Dustin was there. Ricky Starks
Dustin was there. There was one other person. I think
Ricky Starks was at. He's been at quite a few.
He's pretty close with
Cody.
It might have been QT Marshall.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah,
that whole crew. Aaron Solo. They were all there.
And I also heard that they signed Jacob Fatu, which is going to be huge. That guy's great.
Well, look at what they did with Lexi King. What's his name? What was he originally? Pillman's son,
Jr.,
right? Yeah.
What is he doing?
He's in NXT. They reinvented him.
Is he doing anything?
Yeah, he's doing good. He actually reminds you of old Jericho. When I see him, he reminds me of old Jericho kind of. His look.
They totally changed everything about him.
You wouldn't know it was the same guy as far as in ring. Total different working style.
Yeah. Because I saw some of it, when he first joined with them on TV, and it was like, he still needed some work, but that might have been last fall, I think.
Yeah, he looks way better now. Yeah. Way better. New look, different style of wrestling now. It's pretty good. And they just, they're starting to bring up some people from NXT now. I mean, we've seen within the last couple months, we see Tiffany Stratton come up. Braun Breaker's coming up, which I still wish they used the Steiner name for him.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of people that they are bringing up now. And I guess we're going to wait to see what happens, man. But anything else you guys want to add to this?
No. Well, that CM Punk thing.
Okay, yeah. Talk about the CM Punk thing, Damon. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think that they had to show it, but I think with them showing the video that they have, look, I think they're a little bit smarter than us, right? We're fans. We don't know the inner workings. I think people just need to be patient. Let it play out. I'm sure they have a reason for why they did it. And I think because they really want CM Punk is everybody fucking loves him right now. It's a big love affair. And that won't last long, I don't think. Because he'll fuck that up like he always does. But there's a big love affair with him right now. And I think they really want to get the Young Bucks over as like monster heels. Same thing with Jack Perry. They're going to bring him back probably like for the pay-per-view in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they're playing the angle, I don't know. I mean, kind of surprised by it. There's a lot of negativity online right now, but I mean, that's, people online posting about it's only a small fraction of the fans. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
I think what you make a real good point of, they didn't need to show it. It was kind of stupid, I thought initially, that they showed it, but when you kind of explained your angle on it, was that, well, they're just trying to get as much heat on the Young Bucks as possible. So
Right.
not why not utilize the other guy that they can't talk about? So which I kind of, to be honest with you, it sounds babyish and all that shit, and maybe it is in real life, but I kind of like it for the wrestling kind of thing, because for us, we get to see this craziness without being involved. You just watch it, and you're like, when other companies start talking shit about each other, it's just a big buildup for everybody. Everybody's going to want to watch everything. What are they going to say?
Well, there was two. There was another one. What's his name with
with Ospreay.
Ospreay, yeah.
Because Triple H.
Yeah, you know what? That didn't bother me, and people are up in arms. Personally, I love the trash talking between
the companies.
I fucking
it's a
love
good
it.
build up. You work together kind of that way.
I mean, you could say that shit on Twitter now. He probably could have fired back on Twitter, but
it's better live. Shit.
Yeah, Osprey is like a pretty big baby face right now.
Yeah,
he's pretty over. He's also an asshole.
Yeah.
Which I like. I fucking love that guy right now.
He's great.
He's the best thing going with them. That didn't bother me at all. I kind of thought it was pretty funny. What he said, but
well, dude, last night I heard it.
Right,
I watched it a little later. I was in the kitchen, and I ran back from the kitchen and I'm like, wait a minute. Because Triple H the other day was just, and he didn't say nothing bad towards anybody. He just said, listen, I don't need anybody in the company that don't want to do the grind thing at this stage in their career. He's like, if it was, I could see if it was an Edge thing or something like that. He don't need to do that now. But a guy that's just starting out, it's a little different. But Ospreay's a different animal.
I know. I mean, he was probably offended by that because and he said it in his promo yesterday. I mean, the guy's he flies, he still lives in England.
Yeah.
And he has his girlfriend's a wrestler and she has a kid and and he's busting his ass for them. It's if you really know the behind the scenes story, with his girlfriend and the kid, he probably has every right to be ticked off that somebody would say that. And it was geared towards him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or was it geared towards Sasha though? Because I
didn't think so. I think it was geared towards Triple H.
Yeah.
It was Triple H.
Yeah.
Because Sasha already went through the ropes. She went through all that stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did, but I mean, she didn't last that long.
Yeah, but I mean, she was here for a while. I mean, like, look about it. When you're Nash and somebody like that, and they go, TNA wants to sign you for more money, less time, why wouldn't Nash do it? Sure.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Sting do it,
But like as Sasha Banks, it's like, it's almost like you got to look what you're getting yourself into because it doesn't seem like all these guys that come to the WWE find greener grass in AEW.
It starts out that way and it don't last that way. Listen, at the end of the day, anybody that I know that was in WWE that got fed up and hated it for a minute left and they couldn't wait to go back. It's just
like
the way
Rusev's doing less in AEW than he did in WWE.
They shit the bed on Rusev.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I love it all. I love the independent stuff. I like TNA, even though I don't get a chance to watch it too much. I like AEW. I like WWE. All of them have their highs and their lows. And I said it a billion times, it's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. I'm still entertained by it.
and by the way, what are they doing with the generic giant in AEW? They build this guy Wardlow up.
He's
and it's like
he can't wrestle that dude.
Are you talking about the big dude? You're talking. Mike's talking about somebody else.
Yeah, Wardlow. No, I'm talking about Wardlow.
Wardlow. We were talking about Saddam Hussein. We were talking about Saddam Hussein. You're talking about Wardlow. That was a bad angle. You don't build up Wardlow that big to job the Joe that quick. They could have got way more legs out of that.
I think the plan is now he's going to be whatever. What the hell's the name of that faction?
Undisputed.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't that.
Yeah, but he might freak out. I think he might kind of.
No, he is. Yeah, now because he lost to Samoa Joe, I think he's going to be like their bitch, which is going to have him turn and try to start up his baby face,
right? Which he's going to have to do again. But I'll tell you what. Like I said, no matter how good these other companies are, at the end of the day, there's nothing like that WWE.
Nah, it's a machine. They have a 50, 60-year-old history. I mean, they like look at WrestleMania. You could pull out The Rock. You could pull out The Undertaker. You can't do that anywhere else.
Yeah. Yep. And I think some of the AEW guys that would probably benefit going through next. And listen, I like most of them. It's nothing to do with. I just think they would make them even better. Getting behind that machine. A guy like Wardlow, he would be. They put him through next and then bring him up. He'd be huge. Yeah. Like I said, I can't talk shit about because I do like AEW.
I like it too, and it's a different monster.
Yeah. Yeah. I think out of all three of them, I enjoy Next a lot because Next is the in between everything.
I gotta check it out more. I
so
just
good.
casually watch it once in a while.
Yeah.
I need to really stick with it because I'm pretty sure that I probably would like that a lot.
Yeah. I think Next is like, it's smaller than the big show, but it's bigger than an indie show. So it's right in between.
That's what I like. Once in a while, on YouTube, if you ever watch like NWA.
Oh yeah, once in a blue moon I
while,
catch that.
Yeah,
it's always good.
Yeah, I like that too because it kind of reminds me of the old '80s NWA where they filmed
Georgia
it in a
Championship
TV studio.
Wrestling,
Yeah, shit
all
like that. Yeah,
I kind of stopped watching that when Cornette got tossed off of it.
Yeah, that goes weird. Yeah, I love Cornette. Listen. I might not agree with him all the time, but I enjoy listening to that Jim Cornette show.
Oh
yeah, it's
fucking hates everything. That guy.
He's so much
fun. You think I'm bad?
Yo, Cornette.
Oh my god, yeah, that guy's angry,
and he's funny. I'm telling you, I thought Kenny Omega's name was really Kenny Olivier. That was his real name for years. Somebody told
Kenny
me.
Olivier.
I thought that was his real name.
That's
I was
funny.
like, he's like, no, like Lawrence
Kenny Olivier with his big peppermint patty face.
And the best line is what? Finger bang McFuck, whatever you think.
What's he call?
Finger bang McFuck. He does the finger
back McFuck pants or something like that.
But it's funny. Listen, at the end of the day, if we're entertained, that's all that counts. That's all they're all trying.
That's all that matters. Yeah, dude, people get fucking fired up. So I go on Twitter and I read some of this shit, dude. People they just like they take his shit too serious.
Take it way too serious.
I think there's a good portion of wrestling fans that believe it's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
relax,
not that I'm saying it's fake, but I believe they think that these people are really at each other's throats when the camera goes off.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, the guy that you have the biggest heat with is the one you make the most money with.
Yeah, right.
That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's entertainment to us. It's about making the money for them.
Yeah.
Tough job, man. But mixtapes and tasty cakes, that's our WrestleMania. Let's talk about it. Wrap up WrestleMania 40. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week.